Okay, so day 3 of veneering tips and tricks. I want to start out by saying thank you to the people who sent me nice messages about these videos. I'm really flattered, and also I'm really glad that it's helpful and people are learning things. I don't personally believe that there should be a gatekeeper to knowledge. Um, if you want to do something, you should be able to do it. And I want everyone to believe also that woodworking is accessible. It's not just for super rich people with these big shops and all the tools. It's for anybody. So on that note, today we are going to continue to build out our pattern and talk about fitting things and the right way to cut things. So I have a piece here taped together, and I want to cut off that cherry piece to match up with the yellow. Now my options are to cut it like this, or I can flip it over and cut it like this. And I'm actually going to do it this way because all the pressure will be pulling this cherry piece into the yellow wood. If I do it this way, the pressure will be pulling into nothing and you'll have more of a chance of tear out. So I'm going to flip it over and match that up. Keeping it nice light passes. Another trick, if you have a cut that's not super smooth, still has kind of some jagged edges, you can take it to a sanding block. Just a couple quick passes can even that out a little bit to make that seam a bit tighter. You don't want to round it over or sand too many times because it can kind of roll and not be straight anymore, but a couple quick passes will do the job. We saw previously how we created a point and then filled it in with this. This time I'm going to show you how to start with a point and build out. So you can do this one of two ways. Tape this together. We can cut this and then put this on, or we can tape them both together and cut over both of the pieces, kind of creating a little miter. But I'm going to do it this way. So what we practiced before of pulling in, cutting into the solid piece, kind of having like a backer. Cut that off. I'm going to tape this on. So what we're going to do next is we're going to use our tape and create one layer all the way across. You want to get right up next to it, but you don't want to overlap the tape. And the purpose of this is tape has a thickness. And when we press this down, we don't want bumps and grooves into the wood. We want one even layer. As opposed to on the back, we have some areas where they're, 3, 4, even 5 layers thick. And that's just too much. It will press in, and then we'll never be able to sand it flat in the end. So we're going to cover this whole side. A little bit of a gap there, that's okay. Just trying to rush. And then we're going to go back to the other side and start pulling off the tape. Okay, so as I was pulling off the tape, this little short end grain came out from this corner. So as you're pulling them off, you want to make sure you're looking at the tape and making sure this doesn't happen. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you just pull it off and kind of place it back in there. You can use your knife and flip it, kind of squeeze it back in there, push it down. Make sure it's back in the same exact place. The great thing about veneer is that you can easily fix anything. So if there's little mistakes right now, you can go back and fix them. Don't spend the entire time you're cutting worrying about every single little seam and little corner. So right here, we have a piece that's missing. Probably got caught up in the tape, maybe we lost it somewhere along the way, so we're just gonna go back and fill that in. So we're gonna find the same piece of species wood and kind of fit it in a little bit. Kind of cut a corner about the size, a little bit bigger. I have kind of the point fit in, so I'm just going to hold it down and cut. It doesn't have to be perfect.